Let's take a look at a few things in our environment and see if we can come up with how they impact public health. Here we have a delicious Chipotle burrito. What are the different ways that this could impact our health? You might think nutrition. You might think it has a lot of salt, potentially a lot of carbohydrates in the tortilla. That could be one way it could impact public health. But there are other things like concerns about employee hygiene practices. Are employees washing their hands after they return from a lavatory? Also, food safety issues. Are the foods maintained at proper temperature during transportation? Are they cooked to the correct temperature? There have been recent outbreaks of E. coli bacteria that can cause disease found in different food products produced at fast food restaurants. These are all public health issues. How about this little friend, the mosquito? Mosquitoes are considered vectors, what we call a vector. They transport germs from one reservoir to another. So there are vector-borne illnesses like the Zika virus. If you remember, during the last Olympics, there was quite a scare with Zika, and in truth, many of the athletic teams from the United States did not stay in Rio de Janeiro. They rented ships to stay offshore. So Zika, it's a virus, and it produces flu-like symptoms, but it also causes birth defects, something called microcephaly. Data collection was conducted in late 2013 and early 2014, and in truth it's common in U.S. territories, especially in Puerto Rico. At first it was transmitted by visitors to South America, then believed to be transmitted sexually. Zika positive mosquitoes were found in Texas and Florida. So this would be something that public health agencies would be monitoring to determine if there were mosquitoes that were carrying the Zika virus in populations. And if they did find them, they would take extra measures to make sure that mosquitoes didn't have standing water to reproduce in. They would spray for mosquitoes and tell people to wear mosquito repellents with DEET, spelled D-E-E-T. Here's something that happened a few years ago, the Flint water crisis. If you are not familiar with this and you are interested in public health, this is something that you should really look into deeper. I have a video following, but there's a lot to find out. What happened with the Flint water crisis is that the city switched tap water sources to save money, causing residents' water to become contaminated with lead and other toxins. So as a cost-saving measure, we question, was the money put over the value of the health of the population? The mayor of Flint and President Obama declared Flint in a state of emergency, and there happened to be some blame shifting. When something goes wrong, no one wants to take responsibility, and so the leaders attempted to cover up their knowledge of the contaminants, leading to criminal charges against 6 state employees. With regards to the Flint water crisis and disparity among health outcomes, we need to consider these questions. How might Flint's demographics determine media coverage or lack thereof, and urgency of the response for the people? And how do regulations and standards on things like water, food, soil, farming, air, etc. protect Americans? So let's take a few minutes to watch another clip about this situation.